Welcome y'all to Classic Treats YouTube channel. My name is Jennifer and today we are going to make mini mushroom spinach quiche Lorraine. So let's get started. Alright, first off we're going to make the dough. So I have 2.5 cups sifted flour. I'm going to be ready to sift it again. So all I have to do is add the salt, which we're going to add 1 teaspoon. And make sure that you level off the salt. Now we're going to sift, and I'm just going to rock the handle back and forth, that way the flour and the salt don't fly up into the air and all over my face. Now that we have the salt and flour sifted, we're going to take 1 cup of lard or Crisco, and we're going to incorporate it into the flour. I'm going to take a pastry cutter and cut the lard or Crisco into the flour. One way that you can tell that the flour mixture is done is that the crumbs will resemble the size of a pea. And we're just about there. Now that the flour and lard have been well incorporated, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of milk. In this case, I'm using dairy-free milk. So the dough should form a ball once the milk is incorporated, and it looks like 2 tablespoons was just enough. Okay, just form the dough into a ball. Go. Now that you have your dough onto your surface, just sprinkle a little bit of flour on top of the dough. We're also going to sprinkle some flour on your rolling pin. This will eliminate the dough from sticking to both you and the rolling pin. And we're just going to roll. You're going to roll the dough out to about 1/2 inch thick. 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick. Preferably 1/4. And pause. And then flour again. With your dough fully rolled out, 1/4 inch thick, we're going to take a 3-inch round cookie cutter, and we're going to press down, twist, and it should come up perfectly. Okay, we're going to do 12 of these for right now. Once you've finished cutting out the dough, you're going to take a mini cupcake pan. You're going to grease it with Pam or any kind of cooking spray. Then we're going to take the little cutouts, we're going to mold them into each of the cup. Once you've finished molding the dough into the mini cupcake pans, this is what it should look like. Once you're finished with the pastry, we're going to move on to the egg mixture. I have 3 cracked eggs into this bowl. We're going to add a little bit of pepper, just to taste. I'm going to add a little bit of salt, again, just to taste. Always put it in your hands, that way you can minimize or maximize the saltiness. I'm just going to put a little bit of pinch, and we're going to do 1/2 teaspoon of dry mustard. We're going to whisk it, and now we're going to add 3/4 cup of milk. Again, I'm using my dairy-free milk. And there we go. Egg mixture is done, and now we get to move on to the guts. Now that we have the egg mixture finished, we're going to work on the guts. I have 2 tablespoons of butter in this cast iron skillet on medium heat. And while we're doing that, we've got the oven preheating to 350. So once the butter is melted, we're going to add a teaspoon of garlic and half of a yellow onion.
Yep.
While we have the garlic and the onion sauteing, we're going to salt and pepper just to season. We want the onions to be nice and golden, not burnt or too overcooked, but just a slight hue of gold. While the onions and garlic are sauteing, we are going to go ahead and take our egg mixture and a pastry brush, and we're going to start egging the inside of the muffin pans. That way, when you bake them, they're not going to leak liquids all over the place on the bottom of the pan. So we'll go ahead and do that while the onions are cooking. Now we're going to take our mushrooms. I'm using baby portobello mushrooms, but you can always use any type of other mushroom depending on your preference, or if you don't want to use mushrooms, you can substitute it with another protein such as ham, bacon, some sort of sausage, whatever you prefer. And now it's time to add spinach. I have about 2.5 cups of spinach here. You want the spinach to be nice and wilted. Move it around a little bit, let the heat get mixed through the entire batch. It's smelling and looking divine. But we're going to take our muffins. And we're going to start scooping the innards into the pastry. Once you've spooned all the guts into the pastry, this is what it should resemble. And now we're going to top them off with cheese or mozzarella cheese, whichever you're using. And then we're going to start spooning in the egg mixture. Now when topping off with the cheese, you don't want to add too much, but just enough to cover the tops. Now that we've got pastries topped off with cheese, we're going to start spooning in the egg mixture. Just a little at a time, gently over the top. Now you don't want the egg mixture overspilling, so you just want it at least 3/4 of the way up the pastry, and you can typically tell when you start seeing a little bit of yellow liquid rise to the top from the bottom. Okay, once you have the egg mixture spooned into the pastry, we're going to bake it for 20 minutes. Almost there. Just another minute and they should be ready to come out. Right now it's been about 21 minutes, a little over the 20-minute line, but I wanted to make sure that they were fully done. And it looks like I have a little visitor who's waiting to see the finished product. So let's take a look. Ooh. Those amazing. Now that we've taken the quiche out of the oven and let them cool to room temperature, I have already removed them from the pan. In order to do so, take a knife or a little mini spreading knife and you scrape along the inside, along the sides, and they should just pop right up. And this is the finished product. Perfect little mini quiche, golden brown on top, crust fully intact. Now for the test. Let's try it. Perfect. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to the Classique Treats channel. Cheers!
Somebody wants some.
Would you like a quiche?